EA. It doesn't matter what they say or do, they can't fix Star Wars Battlefront 2 because the game was built around loot boxes. I'm so glad that I decided not to buy the game. All right, guys. I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm not. I'm not supposed to be laughing, but I can't help it. I need to calm down. Calm yourself, Cinda. Calm down. If you didn't know, let's get into the news. Apparently, EA has their early access plan. Of course, people have already gotten their hands on to Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it turns out that it takes 40 hours to unlock either Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. Not both, either or. And that is if you skip unlocking everything else along the way. That is if you just want to unlock Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. 40 hours. And how this system works is broken because the game doesn't reward you on how well you do. Sure, there is some challenges that you can perform to earn extra in-game credits, but it's not really enough to litigate the time crunch. So basically, how you earn points is by playing the game. So and it's how long the matches last. So if the match lasts 12 minutes, 250 credits to everybody, right? It doesn't matter if you got 30 kills. It doesn't matter if you got one. You got 250 credits. It doesn't matter if you're on the winning team. It doesn't matter if you're on the losing team. You get the same amount of credits. So it's not really rewarding you on how well you do, but rather how long you play. Now, why would they do this? Why would they do this? Obviously, it's to make you want to buy the microtransactions, buy the credits, and just skip all the grind parts. That's why they do it, to incentivize the player to buy. That's their plan. That's what they do. That's how they work. We've talked about this. We've talked about this for a very long time on this channel. You've heard other people talk about it. It's why loot boxes was never a good idea. I'm looking at you, Overwatch, for making it mainstream. You think that you can say, oh, it's not our fault. People love our loot boxes. Don't feed us that bullshit. You know it's not true. EA's main motivation is to make money. And you can say, we hear the excuse, oh, Stando. It's because that, games have been $60 forever and they just don't make enough profit of the games to pay everybody for all their project and hard work. Bullshit. Did you know that Call of Duty World War II, just in physical copies, sold more than Thor Ragnarok and Wonder Woman combined in its opening week? In its opening week, they make enough money. They don't need the microtransactions to keep the servers on. They just tell you that's just that defense. I don't even know where it came from. Was it really a developer that said that? Was it really a publisher that said that? Because it's bullshit and you guys believe it. When the game sells fucking astronomical numbers on day one, they don't need to gouge you anymore. I don't know if many of you youngsters out there are aware, there used to be a company way back when on the original Nintendo Entertainment System that used to make games that what they would do is they would go out and they would buy licenses like X-Men, or buy licenses like Addams Family, or buy licenses like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, dude. And they would make really crappy games. They would make a game, probably took 1 or 2 weeks to develop, and then cram it out there so that they can just turn it into a simple license cash grab. This company was called LJN, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but people finally got fed up with how bad LJN games are that they quit buying them. And you know where LJN is today? Well, you've not played a game made by LJN here lately, have you? So, good job. Good job, LJN. Activision used to make Marvel games. I don't know if you're aware of this. They used to make these they used to have licenses. Activision used to make more than just Call of Duty, believe it or not. They used to make Spider-Man games. They used to make Tony Hawk games. They used to make fucking they used to make The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, The Avengers, Ultimate Alliance. Activision used to make these games. Do you know why they don't anymore? Because they don't have the licenses anymore. Do you know why they don't have the license anymore? Because the movie tie-in video game got a bad rap because they sucked and they were pieces of shit, and they were, the entire industry would tell you, oh, don't buy those games because they're pretty much broken and crap. Eventually, one day, we'll see a true like entry in the series. Somebody will pick it up, but don't buy this crap because it's bullshit. And you know what happened? Now we have Marvel licensing their titles to developer-specific people. For example, we know Spider-Man is being worked on by Insomniac, been released solely on the PlayStation 4. We know that the Avengers is being handled to Crystal Dynamics, the people who made the reboot for Tomb Raider, because it was awesome. So we're getting an Avengers made by Crystal Dynamics. That is fucking cool. And I'm telling you that if you just, sooner or later, EA is going to lose the Star Wars, alright? They're going to lose Star Wars. It's just a matter of time before us gamers get fed up with said publisher and therefore quit buying everything from said publisher, and then the said license company says, you know what, our games aren't performing as well as they should, either fix your shit or we're leaving. And they try to fix it and then they don't because they're still EA, and the license place goes somewhere else. Wouldn't it be cool to see Naughty Dog, or I don't know, some other like developer handle the Star Wars franchise? How fucking rad would it be for Bethesda to work on a Star Wars game? You know what I mean? Sooner or later, it's going to go somewhere else. Matter of fact, EA is already trying to write their own ship, but they can't fix it because the game was built around loot boxes. They went on Reddit and said
the intent was to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for costs, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at the average per player credit earn rates on daily basis because we want to continue paying that. It doesn't matter how well you do, we just want to pay you a flat rate. And we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that the players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course, attainable via gameplay.
Bullshit. And everybody knows it's bullshit because it was the most downvoted post on Reddit of all time. It's kind of like when Call of Duty tried to sell us Modern Warfare Remastered, but they wanted to put it behind that Infinite Warfare paywall. You remember that game that nobody wanted? And Infinite Warfare was instantly the most disliked trailer on YouTube. The most disliked video on YouTube is the Call of Duty. It's just I can't help but laugh. Now, as of yesterday, EA said they are going to cut back 75%, so now you can earn those characters within 10 hours, essentially. on some of the characters. We're assuming that it means Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, you'll be able to learn 10 hours apiece, putting you at 20 hours just to unlock those characters, and then even more time to upgrade whatever bullshit shenanigans they got going on. It's still pay to win no matter how you cut it, and it will always be pay to win no matter how much you cut it, because there is no fixing a game that was built around this system. There is no way to truly win, but except for one way, and I will tell you guys how you can win at Star Wars Battlefront 2. Don't buy it. That's what I have decided to do. I am not buying any more EA games. I am not buying any more Activision games. And here is what I'm telling you guys is, I know it sucks. They hold the Star Wars franchise, right? And you want to play Star Wars. We want to play good Star Wars, though. We want to see the franchise done right, because it will sell bukus of money, and there is a right way and a wrong way to do things, and this is obviously the wrong way. Now, for the long term, I know there are other companies out there like Ubisoft and Take-Two and other people like Warner Brothers Interactive that think that loot boxes are the future, and we will get to them sooner or later. But for right now, let's just focus on two companies, the biggest publishers of the industry, Activision and EA, and just not buy any other games. Yes, it sucks you won't get to play Star Wars, but look at it this way, guys. Sooner or later, they're going to lose the license and it will go somewhere else, because Disney wants to make money. They know there's a market there, and they will pull that license from EA. If you buy the game and say, oh, I'll buy the game and not participate in the microtransactions, it doesn't matter if you or I don't buy the microtransactions after purchasing a game, because they already got your day one sale. So they've already made all the money they plan on making off of you. The rest of their money they will make off of the whales, the ones who spend $1,500 in a single player Mass Effect game. Yes, that happened. Someone spent $1,500 in a Mass Effect single player game. There are whales out there, okay, that spend every penny they have on digital items that don't mean much after the game has already moved on. All right, that is one of the biggest things that frustrate me, is people buying digital items that are only good for while the servers are online. After the servers are offline, when the PS5 comes out and Battlefront 2 for EA isn't online anymore, and everybody is playing a different game, that thing has no more value to you. It doesn't. It's one of the most baffling things about microtransactions that I'll never understand. Anyway, there are those whales that will consume that. Now, if the average Joes that just want to buy the game, the casuals and the hardcore like gaming people that just love games but don't want to spend the extra money, if we leave, right? If we go, oh, it's made by EA, oh, it's made by Activision, and we leave, then the only people buying the game and buying the microtransactions are the whales. And guess what? There's not enough whales to populate servers and keep them in longevity. There's only so much that they can buy, and once they bought up everything, that's it. At that point, without mining your base value, without us buying the base game and getting our day one sales, the game is lucky to break even off of just whales. It needs both. It needs us and the whales to make their bottom line. But I'm telling you guys, I'm done with microtransactions, especially loot boxes, and I'm taking my money and my business elsewhere. And I encourage you to do the same. If you really don't want loot boxes in Star Wars games, it's not enough to buy the game and not buy the loot boxes. Because they're still going to put loot boxes in future titles because it worked so well the last time. The only way to do it is not to buy the game. That's the only way. Do not buy Activision games. Do not buy EA games. Sure, there are other shitty companies out there. We'll deal with them after we've been put a huge enough dent in Activision and EA. Plus, we're talking about the two biggest publishers in video gaming. If we dent them hard enough, that'll send a ripple effect throughout the entire industry. I promise you. You always hear us say vote with your wallet. It never meant more than it does now. Vote with your wallet. Remember, guys, that I love your face, and I will see you when the next Star Wars extravaganza comes out. The one that everybody wants to play because it's not full of all the bullshit. Which is on the flip side, guys. That's where it's at. And I'll see you there. Till then, have a good one. Peace.